I have to say that about UST Paus LeBlanc, and UST just keeps pushing for kills. Usually, we talk about being objective centric when it comes to macro, and UST has done that, but they've been getting even more kills than what typically would a normal team would typically have. So, man, it's just UST being UST right now.
Yeah, and I feel like early game they really knew who to focus down. They didn't give any kills away to, or too many kills away to Kinzon and to Parzival. And despite the early Drakes being taken, the important thing to note there is that those aren't the Drakes that Teletigers really wants. Or, yeah, like Cloud Drake is a strategic Drake. It lets you change how you play the game by virtue of you changing up your ultimate cooldowns. Infernal and Mountain, those are just stats. Those are just tactical stats. And I think Teletigers is okay with giving Mountain away. As for the Ocean Drake, it doesn't affect Teletigers' game plan too much. So I think they were also okay with giving that away. Of course, it would have been ideal to take those, but yeah, like you said, like Berserk said, it seems like Teletigers is outclassing Valiant Esports in this game one.
Well, now that we know what happened in this game, let's talk about what might happen next game.
Mm-hmm.
HAU, they're known for two things. One, of course, they're one of the strongest teams here in Predator Alliance League 2020 summer, but the second thing is they really know how to adjust. And as you said, Berserk, our runner-up for MVP, Parzival over here, is really the hero for occasions like this one. So in terms of mid lane, I mean, Pau already proved game 1 that he could buy that Medjais and win the game. But what could HAU do to try and secure game 2?
I think that Parzival needs to be on a champion that has strong lane priority so that he can get his side laners going. I think HAU has what it takes to match the early game pressure of UST. And we saw that in the bot lane. We saw Kinzon and Kaidan trading really well against Crescio and Tenebria. I want to see that again, but coupled with a stronger early game presence for mid lane.
I see. How about you, Hiron? Looking at that game in a bird's eye point of view, what's a good adjustment that HAU could take?
I think I have to agree with Berserk, but you have to look at Teletiger's strengths, right? Their strengths is when they're able to influence. Not only are their lane strong, they also get positive influence from from roaming Crescio, from Pau and Michael as well. I think you just have to ensure, like I said, good priority in your lanes. Pick a champion that has good priority, and match that pressure around the map here for HAU. It's gonna be really tough against Crescio, but they have to do it. They have to step up, and Parzival has to be that beacon, that the standard bearer here for HAU.
Yeah, and we just got word as well from the admins that there will be no subs for next game. So it's gonna be the same 5 players that will play on the Rift again, and red side naman ng HAU this game. So what changes, and let's say nag-change ng sides, what adjustment, may specific adjustment ba na pwedeng gawin na mas okay for red side?
Red side.
Red side. What about, anong pwedeng magandang adjustment to that? Berserk?
Were they red side during the
they were red
game?
side first game, yeah.
Okay, so I think they do have a game plan, HAU, and they want So we're actually getting into the second game for game 2. Yeah. It's game 2, and back to what I was saying. HAU has a game plan and they want to stick to it. I think that they're just going to make some minor adjustments. I expect it to come in the form of the mid lane. I don't think blind pick Silas is something they wanna do again. Although it is a comfort pick for Parzival, I think drafting wise they have to do much more if they want a chance at beating stealing away a game off of UST.
Yeah, but looking at the bans though, quite the same. The Oriana ban, the Saya ban, and I love it from UST. I love it. The Saya ban is a big respect towards Kinzon. They know that Kinzon is one of the best Saya players in Alliance League right now, and they wouldn't want to give that away. Getting that priority ban that tells you a big story that they really want to respect Kinzon in that regard. But looking at the other bans in the first banning phase right now, 3 AD carries are out, the Shen and the Oriana as well. Let's see what the final ban will be for Valiant Esports. I'm expecting another mid lane ban, but you'll never know. Maybe they'll ban out a Crescio champion, and I am right. It's gonna be the set ban.
The Shen ban here, I think, it's something that
same.
Valiant Esports picks up like in the later stages of a series, whether it's best of 3 or best of 5. They lose one, they get the Shen out. At least that's what the tendency I saw in their semis match. And I like the ban here coming in from Teletigers. And still, the priority on this Hecarim is something that you cannot discount.
Wait
Ooh.
lang. I'm not liking this from HAU.
Sejuani.
Sejuani isn't really one of the champions right now that could be on par. Well, you could say that she has the CC. Yes, she has the tankiness, but she can't finish off people. You need damage in your composition if you pick Sejuani. And looking at their plan right now, getting the Morgana, the main counter to a Sejuani pick, I feel like they are giving this priority Sejuani a little bit of justice.
I like the Morgana take. Not only is it a takeaway from Cresho, it's just more CC for their comp as well. There's like 200 years of CC if Valiant Esports is the one to pull the trigger, but Teletigers not ones to like being locked down, as well as the pickup.
I am a personal fan of Morgana as a champion because the Black Shield can negate just so many things. It can negate CC, knock ups. Sometimes it can even negate damage. And for UST, a team which relies on chaining CC seamlessly, it's gonna be a variable that they have to take into account. But we do see Cresho locking in that Karma, which doesn't really rely on CC but relies on raw damage in lane. So this is spelling out bottom lane difficulty on the side of HAU right
Ton of
here.
pickup here for Valiant Esports.
One thing though, I hope we find like a black shield in real life too, and something to negate so we can finally bond, finally enjoy in a studio. I kind of miss those days. I mean, this is the first grand finals of collegiate that we're casting at home, and thank you for our viewers right now. We have 200 plus viewers. If we were in an arena, in a cinema, this would be sold out. And again, thank you very much for your support. But let's enter the second banning phase of this game. The Wukong and the Renekton ban for both sides over here. The bot lane is already completed, plus the jungle matchup as well. Are you guys expecting mid lane bans?
I don't think there will be a mid lane ban because it's really there is one. It's the LeBlanc.
That's a respect.
Yeah, it is a respect ban, but you can't ban out UST Pao. He has so many other carry picks in the mid lane, and I do not think that this LeBlanc ban is
gonna bother him too much. Yeah, neither Parzival, but the Cassiopeia. It seems like USC Teletigers respects it enough to warrant a ban here. As you said, same thing with Pau. Parzival has a very wide champion pool. It's played Vladimir, Cass, Oriana, Silas, Cassandra, even Veigar. So it seems like this is something specific to the comp here, because if you add Glacial Prison, Soul Shackles, add on top of that Petrifying Gaze, that could be tough here. Kennen. So this is just...
I like this.
Gotta go fast comp from the Teletigers if they lock this in.
Man, okay, I thought it was a Quinn, but okay, it's gonna be the Kennen against the Darius. So Darius, notoriously one of the best 1v1 champions in the top lane. The raw damage coming in from his passive, and of course the true damage from his ulti, just most of the time more than enough to 100-0 most 1v1 matchups. But the Kennen is one of the more slippery champions in the top lane with a lot of range, very spammable stun, and of course that AoE ult as well. We've seen this Kennen in the hands of Dame for several times already, but is this the rebirth? Is the one trick Irelia back for Pau? Let's not forget 2018 or 2019 Esports Agate Arena Conquest in Iloilo actually. That Irelia already won a championship. Let's see if it's gonna be the case for Teletigers this game. But for Valiant Esports, looks like Parzival will bring out the villain. That's gonna be the Veigar.
Usually I would like Veigar ban. Veigar picks kind of int, no? I think would be the first thought. But in this comp, I think it kind of works. The event horizon's good zoning. just to complement the suite of CC that Valiant Esports has so far, giving enough room for Red Flank and Kinzon to deal their damage. But the side of Teletigers, this is a scary, high octane, high speed
Scary.
comp coming in from them.
Yeah,
The
I mean, Karma coming in to buff up, speed up this Kennen
Hecarim and
Irelia
Din.
Hecarim. That's so scary. And just to give color on the other side, I think what it's gonna come down to is how well how can guard against their flanks.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if it's front to back, Vigor is king with that event horizon. But if UST can find flanks with Irelia,
Yeah.
Hecarim,
Skip
and
the front.
Kennen, which they are known to do really well, then it's gonna spell. I don't know what that's gonna spell, but it's gonna spell a really hard to spell word for for Valiant
Yeah.
Esports.
But for Valiant Esports, let's talk about what works for them. I feel like skirmish wise or picking off people with the Morgana snare plus the Vigar zoning potential, they do have the edge in that. Actually, they have so much CC that if they find a target alone or magdalawa lang silang magkasama, they
Yeah.
could definitely pull the trigger,
Yes.
clearly get one and then finish him off with the Darius and then get the second one immediately right after. I think that's a good condition for Valiant Esports. They don't have to take big team fights because UST has the bigger advantage. You have the Slicing Maelstrom, the Onslaught of Shadows, but in terms of single target damage, dude, you have the Vigar, you have the Darius. You can immediately kill one if you go for small skirmishes. So for Valiant Esports, I think the win condition is go for skirmishes and not for big team fights. And for UST, don't roam around in duos. If ever you're gonna go in, just make sure that you're gonna go all in, because looking at how Valiant Esports is built right now, they could definitely kill one and get away with it cleanly.
I do think
Definitely.
I like this Vagar pickup, and I see exactly why Teletigers banned the Cassiopeia here. It's because if this is a comp that runs in, you don't want a wall of petrifying gaze to meet you, assuming that they're coming in from the front. The Vagar is a very good alternative to that to come in from Valiant Esports, assuming that, like you said, Teletigers does not find a flank. But if these Apex Predators, the Teletigers, find Valiant Esports on the side, then this event horizon is going to be really, really tough to make good use of.
Yeah,
Then
and
again, I just have to mention, uh, this is basically conceding mid lane priority though.
Oh yeah.
Veigar against Irelia, that's Irelia's kingdom right there. Unless this Veigar gets camped, but I don't think it will because there's not a lot of kill pressure early for Veigar. So
Hmm.
the ball is in the hands of UST early game mid lane. He has UST Pao can do whatever he wants, set up ganks, roam, and just help UST Michael do whatever he wants to. So as long as how can somewhat handle that sort of situation, then they should be fine scaling into the mid and late game.
Hmm.
oh man, I mean, all analysis aside, it's pretty sad. I think nasanay na tayo, like when spec delay comes, we don't talk. We usually watch Shamey, but
Yeah.
things happen, man. Things happen. And for now, though, as we said, no more prediction, no more Shamey buff. UST taking game one. Going in game two, do you think this composition coming in from HAU will allow them to mount at least a 1-1?
It's definitely
Zerk, you first.
possible. Yeah, go for Zerk.
Uh it is like this Hyron got a bit of what he was gonna say there. It is definitely possible. They have the tools necessary for that to happen. Sejuani, like what Omi said, Sejuani, Morgana, all those single target pick off potentials. But it's how do I say this? That's in an ideal world. If they can't actually orchestrate that, it's gonna be hard for them. But that's what I will say. It is definitely possible for how to steal a game away from UST right now.
Hmm. And as for me, yeah, like I said, it's definitely possible. Actually, would have really liked the Cassiopeia pick. It's and really smart ban coming from UST, but really smart alternative as well with the Vagar against this comp that wants to rush in, coming from Parzival. But UST is not the type of team to get caught by these single
Oh no.
I think these pickoffs coming in from HAU, but we'll see though as we load on to Summoner's Rift. HAU and
Dane.
HAU, they're all bunched up. Dane might be in a little bit of trouble if he walks in on this, but
Oh no, they actually hover. That could have been a kill on Dane, but looks like Irelia would be the one in danger instead. Uh-oh.
But it seems like no kills will come through. HAU backs off quite early. And as we're waiting for everything to start, lines of scrimmage is being drawn. Congratulations. I think we have two of our winners from our first game for our skins. I believe this is Karo Piue, hashtag UST win, and Renz against hashtag UST win in the Twitch chat. So congratulations. For all of you other viewers out there, make sure you join, share the stream with hashtag UST win or hashtag HAU win. And of course, share the stream with your friends. Keep making noise in the chat, and you'll get a chance to win skins after every game in this best of 5. We've got 2 winners after every game.
Oh wait, I wanna learn more about this mid lane matchup. The Vigard is running a corrupting potion, which means is he going for more aggressive trades? I mean, Furzart, you spent a lot of time in mid lane. A corrupting potion Vigard. What does that imply?
Well, that can mean to wait a minute.
Oh no, that's gonna be the cheese burning the heal coming in from Kinzon, but the flash as well. First blood goes to Tenebria, but he finds Corgi instead. This might be the trade kill on the AD carry, but Aftershock is there. The exhaust, the flash is burned out for Cresho as well. They're staying alive, boys, as Kaidan is forced to go back to the turret. Oh my lord, that's a lot of summoner spells burnt in that bottom lane area.
What the heck? Kinzon getting a taste of his own medicine there. As the cheesers of bot, it seems like UST out-cheesed them right now. And that is an easy first kill for Tenebria.
Disaster right there for HAU. And this is Kinzon's Tristana right now. Him being behind beats Tenebria has the freedom to push up the wave. It's hard for Tristana to see us under tower. We know that. But more than that, Corgi being set back in the jungle against a Hecarim. Oh man, that's basically conceding early game to UST if UST play it right.
It's funny for me because usually when you see a Tristana, you just go in your head, level 2 all in, level 2 all in, level 2 all in. But looks like in the top lane though, red plank. Will it be dead plank? No Q is available just yet. The heals are coming in, but looks like it won't be a 5 stack as Michael gets a kill on a red plank. But man, before we shift back to our discussion, I want to say that level 2 all in Tristana is really, come on, give me a break. This is gonna be another mid lane fight, but no kill. You know what? I'm gonna reserve my point about level 2 Tristana. First, take it away.
UST early game, I mean, this is something to be expected, but I didn't expect this much of action in game 2. Right now, all I'm wondering, all that's in my head right now, how is Corgi gonna be bouncing back from this? His Darius is 0-1. He does have, he does have flash up, so that's something. And I think that's the play that they're gonna be playing towards in the top lane. We do see both of them approaching right now.
Yeah, Corgi trying to find one back for this Darius in the top lane, but looks like he will be recalling instead. But yes, finally I can talk about it. Level 2 all in for Tristana. Come on! Okay, again, coming in from Corgi in the top lane, forces the flash out of Dane. It looks like the pull is there coming in from Red Plank. This is gonna be a dead cannon in the top lane. First skill of HAU goes to the hands of Corgi.
Very, very nice, quick thinking then from Red Plank to go for the flash apprehend. And getting a kill out of there would what would usually just be a forcing a flash kind of gank, convert into a kill. But now UST though, they're unfazed for sure.
Man, I don't even want to talk about it. You know, okay, it's gonna be another fight in the bottom lane. Tenebria doesn't get landed by that snare, and okay, looks like this is gonna be a fast-paced game, boys.
Yeah, both of these teams.
Yeah, my gosh, like, to your point though, one kill falling into the hands of Corgi, yes, it's good, but I don't think it's gonna do much. You wanted that kill to fall into the hands of Red Plank. I honestly think that it's completely fine. we've seen before. Oh, no mana right now. I
Wow,
think
might
he's
be in
fine.
danger. That's a lot of auto attacks landing, but
Oh.
no kill going towards Parzival. Again, he is running that teleport. If he had the ignite, that could have been a kill. But you would want a safer lane to scale as Vigar.
But I think that even without the kill, though, I think this is how signal to go for the Ocean Drake. Once again, Ocean Drake, I think I'd categorize it as a strategic Drake in the way that it changes how you play the how you move around the map, right? Because sometimes you don't have to back, you just wait for the regen. And I think HAU is gonna make good use of this Ocean Drake here if they do get it.
Yeah, they don't. UST have no vision over there. It's gonna be a free Drake once again, similar to game one, but looks like the next gank will be in this mid lane instead. Parzival has the ult available if they go in for the dive. It looks like they won't, as Michael will be just chilling out there in the mid lane, zoning out that Vigar.
Really,
like this
really
so
good.
far.
Yeah, I like it too, Irod. And UST just flexing their muscles early game. Good find by HAU though. They played on the back timer of the bot lane of UST there, so they were able to secure that Drake. Cresho too, even though she came from base, was able to pass towards mid lane to help stop that proactive play that HAU wanted to make uh onto Pau there. But seems like at the current state of the game, 1k gold lead in favor of UST. I have to give it to them. They've been showing continuous proactiveness, and I'm wondering what Michael's gonna be doing next for his path.
Oh no, look at the damage in that bottom lane. It's just a little bit too much for now. In terms of scaling though, Ezreal versus Tristana, who do you think wins?
Ezreal versus Tristana. In terms of just outright DPS, I honestly would want to give it to Ezreal because Tristana has that attack speed steroid. When that wears off, then it's gonna be hard. He doesn't really have a utility support to buff him up like Lulu. There's a Morgana. So I have to give it to Tenebria right now, especially because he can just like kite Darius, kite Sejuani. There's not gonna be much threat for him, so he's gonna be really effective when it comes down to team fights.
But man, we're not seeing any cleanses apart from Pau over here, so it's only Pau who's running the cleanse against a Sejuani. And can you give a little bit more insight over that, Hyron?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I don't think UST has room to go for the cleanse here because they're the type of team that wants to be the ones pulling the trigger. If you're the ones that are aggressive and high octane in this kind of comp, you don't have time to be the ones to have to cleanse. You're the ones pulling the trigger. You have to go through like this. They're constantly pressuring HAU. Heal can be used to chase, can be used to just buy yourself a little bit more time as the proactive player as well. So I do think that not having the cleanse here is okay for Tenebria.
Oh yeah, and in the bottom lane, the pressure is on for Kaidan over here. Cresho has been throwing out empowered Qs again and again, and it always lands in his face. So Kaidan not really having it in this bottom lane so far. Black Shield is available in case of a very dire situation. This looks to be a plaything already for UST. Let's see if HAU is able to respond in another lane. So far, all lanes are even bukod sa bot lane.
The Herald is going to be a point of contention here as the next Drake has not yet spawned. And both junglers are on top side looking to see if they can find each other here. Who will pull the trigger on the recall first is the question. But it seems like Corgi will be trying to go for Dane.
Oh no, Dane, Onslaught of Shadows plus Slicing Nails are more than enough to take down Red Flank. And looks like Corgi will be burning his flash for nothing as the double kill goes to the cannon instead. That is a very bad situation in the top lane, but looks like bot lane will be winning instead. Kinzon goes in for the rocket jump, but doesn't quite finish off Tenebria. Crasho trying to finish off Kinzon. The comment won't land as no kills will happen in the bottom lane. That was such a close battle.
Intense, super intense in this bot side here, but clearly the advantage here is on the side of the Teletigers.
Oh no, wait a minute. Dane might be biting off more than he could chew. The bleed won't be enough to take him down. Michael will be there to zone out the Darius instead.
Yeah, Michael saying, don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. As he zones Red Flank out of that tri-brush.
I'm sorry, how did this become a dad conversation?
Same. Honestly, same. Which reference are you pulling this from, Hyra?
It's like real life. I think Hyron had a fun time with his dad. Maybe, baka sinabi yun ng tatay niya tungkol sa mga, I mean, common.
Okay, so
yeah,
going back,
Michael taking good care of their top lane. Going back to that, yes, Berserk.
going back to the game. I'm just impressed about how the target selection was executed for Dane and Mike.
Wait a minute, Cresho locked in by the Sejuani. Easy kill for HAU over there. This is looking bad for Teletigers. The dragon is up and they're missing Cresho.
It is just a very short death timer, and Karma can run all the way back to this Drake, but it is an Infernal Drake. Very, very squishy Drake here, and how they are forced to take this away. I don't think UST is going to contest, especially if Onslaught of Shadows is on cooldown, so they are just going to concede this Infernal Drake here to HAU.
Yeah, and ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina eh. Like, the picks coming in from HAU, it really does shine because you have that Sejuani and the Morgana. If they could do more things like that, that could mean well for them in this game. But in the top lane, a short 1v1, Dane against Red Flag, the bleed is slowing him a little bit. He has to make distance, and he successfully dashes away with that Proto Dog.
Well, I like the point that you made there, Wumi, about the single target pickoffs. Yes, HAU was able to demonstrate how they can use that in their favor. They got the Drake from that. But again, looking back at game 1, ito yung nangyari sa UST eh. But wait, hold that.
Oh, wait a minute. 2v2 in the top lane. Slicing Maelstrom is used to zone out a lot of people. Make that a kill on Dane, but the kill on the bottom lane happens. The Irelia is there. That's the Vanguard's edge, but Saklan's on the stun. Looks like he will be resetting the Blade Search only once as the Onslaught of Shadows used to get the kill on Red Flank. That's a 2-for-2 trade for the side of UST and HAU.
Man, this is a super intense fight so far, and both of these teams are not letting up. But Rift Herald is a huge objective here, and Michael is gonna get this uncontested. And we saw last game what USC can do if they get the initiative on these Rift Heralds.
Yeah, but more than that, like what I was saying a bit back before that double-sided skirmish happened, even though 2 Drakes have fallen to the hands of HAU, and in terms of gold, we can see right now that the laners are at an advantage across the map. So UST know this definitely, and they know how to use this as they did in game 1. So when it comes to team fights, if HAU can't keep finding those single target pickoffs like Omi keeps mentioning, then it's not going to be enough that they
wait a minute, Berserk. I might just have to cut you over there. So Blade Surge will land on Parzival. Underneath the turret, though, that's a lot of slows coming in. The sustain will kick in for the Irelia instead. In the top lane, this looks to be the Herald take. That's 2 plates gonna go down to the Herald, but not yet the turret. This is looking bad for Red Flank for now. No allies hovering towards the top side, but looks like UST is not aware of Corgi in this bottom lane. No ultimate from the Sejuani just yet. It misses! It missed! And still the kill goes to the hands of Kinzon as the reset comes in. Tenebria still alive. They want to trade Red Flank in the top side, and that's going to be a kill towards Michael with the turret as well. So far, gold-wise, UST wins, but looks like Kinzon doesn't want that to happen. It will be a flash burn, though. Actually, a heal burn, but still, a trade won by UST just because of a first turret.
Super big gold spike there for UST, and a teleport coming in from Dane. He does have slicing Maelstrom up. He has no follow-up though. Kaidan, but I don't think HAU is going to risk that as HAU is coming in from behind. Tenebria jumping over with his Essence Shift, flashing as well just to finish the kill, and the last rocket of the Proto Bell hits him for the kill. And look at that, Michael in the backside of that, taking more camps from Corgi.
Oh man, Michael stealing away camps is like adding salt to an already open wound. After taking kills and getting camps, it just chokes out HAU so much, and looks like the bottom lane turret is the next objective. But Parzival might get a kill. Boom goes Cannon, and that's gonna be a kill going to the hands of Parzival.
Whew. That's Dane kind of playing too close to the margins there. I know that he's such a talented player when it comes to spacing, but that was not really a time he wanted to play along the margins, because he invested that teleport to go to bot lane and to possibly take down that bottom lane T1 tower right away. Because UST does this. They play the pressure cooker style. So that death kind of cost them that next objective that UST planned to take down.
Quite unfortunate there, but they might just make up for it here though.
Kinzon
taking a lot of damage.
Wow, quite patient with the rocket jump as well. That's real discipline out there for Kinzon.
And that's really, you build that up from years of experience, not only in collegiate but in pro scene as well. So Kinzon gets to save his rocket jump now. Gets a good back timer here, I think. Finishes off his IE, yeah. And it seems like, so far, HAU in a negative position, but not unsalvageable.
I mean, 2-0 on the Vigar. Vigar, one of the better scaling champions in the game so far. So let's see if Parzival is able to scale up to the potential that he needs to be. This Vigar should be able to at least put a big dent on the life of Tenebria in the late game.
Let's see though, break coming up.
Drake coming up, and seems like they're ready to contest here. HAU they do have the teleport on that Darius, IE already on the hands of Kinzon right now, but it seems like they're gonna be opting to just give it away. So not much happening there. No fights just yet, as Red Black is free to maybe take some chip damage down this top tower.
I think Red Black needs this breathing room, man. He's 0-4-2.
Yeah, you don't want to see that for a Darius though. Bottom lane, this might be dangerous for Tenebria. The rocket jump is there, the burst damage forces out the flash, and the crit ends his life without no counter. It looks like Kresho is next. The flash is burnt. Onslaught of Shadows lands on None as the flash is burned. The snare lands on Michael. This is huge. This is huge for HAU. He gets pulled to the hands of Red Black, but gets a kill on Kinzon. The reset! Michael goes ham! Kresho's in this next target, the double kill. Looks like Parzival will just ult Kresho to end his life, and that's gonna be a trade back for HAU, but Michael salvages that play.
Oh man, he gets snared, he gets apprehended and pulled back, but the Relentless coming in from this Hecarim, showing the horsepower in the hands of UST. Still though, that's mid and top lane priority given up completely by HAU for that bot lane kill.
But this is something, and I honestly like seeing this from HAU, because they can't just take these games sitting down, and it shows they're fighting right now. And Kinzon and Kaidan, they're doing the cheese in the mid game. Seems like UST's not learning.
Oh no, he
it.
gets pulled in a 1v1. Hindi ginamit kanina na ulti yung Darius. This might be the chance for him to pick up his first kill of the game. Make that a second if he does get it. But the flash is burnt out of Kennen and he won't get that execute.
Yeah, but going back to that previous point, I think HAU being more proactive here, it's really paying off for them. It just shows in the gold lead. If the previous game at 18 minutes, the gold lead was already very, very wide in favor of UST. But here, it's still close. They do have some of those tactical breaks in order to help them with their stats as well. So I think HAU is just doing way better in this game than in the first game. But
in the top lane, Red Blank might be in trouble once again. That's the fear plus the ultimate from the Irelia not landing. It won't be enough to execute him as well there. The 2v1 will work towards a favor of UST as they take a kill on Red Blank. Corgi in the backside though. Ultimate lands on the Ezreal, but he is able to escape. No follow-up to kill off that AD carry. That was a fast essence shift.
But that is a turret taken down for HAU.
Yep. Well, I'm not really sure if that was a... No, actually it was a Mikael's Crucible used by Kresho.
Yeah.
That's why Tenebria was able to... Yeah, able to get away scot-free there. But on the other side, yeah, super clutch. So really, Kresho demonstrating prowess all around on his support. Hindi lang basta Karma lane presence, meron rin utility if you opt to buy this, purchase this item. And it's a really good item. Ang daming CC sa side ng HAU. So this Crucible is gonna come into play not just in moments like those, but in clutch teamfight situations.
And I guess that's the answer to Omi's question earlier about the cleanse, with Pao being the only one who would cleanse, with Tenebria getting healed. I think this Mikhail's Crucible is one of those answers to that question. And also, it means that Tenebria trusts Kresho a lot. And I think that's already been apparent in all the games that they've been together in Alliance League. But that just goes to reinforce that concept here that UST Teletigers, they just really bounce off well of each other. The trust, the synergy, all of it comes into play when it comes to their strategy and when the team fights start with their tactics. So Teletigers here looking strong, looking to extend their gold lead here to 5K, 4K. Let's see how HAU tries and wrestle priority in this game back in their favor.
Yeah, and Dragon will be spawning a few minutes or maybe less than a minute from now, so this is going to be a good place to start with that change.
It is going to be the Mountain Drake here, which is, I think, really important here for HAU to survive the initial assault here by UST. But we'll see how it plays out. This is a very, very important objective. If HAU takes this, they have Mountain Soul Pressure.
Yeah, 30 seconds from now, that's the Mountain Drake spawning, and there's no teleport on Pao. I'm not quite sure on why he's still in that top lane. I feel like the pressure is coming in from this Darius, but Kennen is already in a good place or a good spot to start or counter a fight.
Yep, definitely. But you know how right now, I think this Veigar is already online. He does have that Twin Shadows and GLP. They're trying to find a death brush from themselves right now. But they are gonna be spotted by this ward right here. We'll see if they can find a single target pick off before this Drake starts to spawn.
Right now, I think UST playing a little bit safe around the lanes. PAO needs to be super careful, but with the Drake spawning, that is the Dragon's Roar calling HAU and UST to the pit. True Shot Barrage gets taken out.
Oh no, looks like Dane is in trouble. That's a lot of stuns. No Slicing Maelstrom just yet, but Tenebria gets out Parzival. That's a lot of kills already going down to Teletigers over here, and this is looking to be a clean Drake for the Teletigers as the damage is just too fast to take.
Man, UST diving deep onto HAU, killing them in almost an instant. That is crazy.
Yo, that happened in the blink of an eye. I didn't know what happened there, but I think it started with HAU tunnel visioning.
Wait a minute. Kinzon looks to be in trouble. The damage from Hecarim won't be enough to keep him out of this game, but this is already Teletigers bearing their fangs in the mid game.
Yeah, it seems like they really tunnel vision, which leads to UST taking not only the Drake, but these mid lane turret as well.
Yeah, I recognize that Kennen is something that HAU has to deal with and ideally erase from the team fight. But if they're going to be compromising their own position and allow the rest of the UST squad to engage upon them freely, like what just happened, then they're still gonna be losing that team fight. So HAU has to somewhat posture a bit more cautiously, I would say, when it comes to team fights, especially if they don't find those pickoffs beforehand.
Yeah, and speaking of pickoffs, that has been the game plan for HAU so far. Whenever they get a pickoff kill, it almost always translates into a good objective. But so far, team fights has been happening left and right. And that's where UST shines the most, that team fighting. But looks like Crescio burns the flash to survive that. And you gotta be more careful. Kinzon is more than willing to take or pull the trigger when he smells blood like that.
And this Baron is going to be the next big target here for both of these teams, with Drake out of the picture for the next 3 minutes. This is going to be a point of contention for this game. This is game 2. Very, very contentious point in this series. This is
Hecarim on the backside gets snared. That's gonna be the onslaught of shadows landing on 2 only as Kaidan looks to be the first target. Soul Shackles is there to buy some time. He goes golden. This only delays his death as Michael gets the kill on the Morgana on the backside. Dane is already there. This might be dangerous. A 3-man ulti, but Parzival pops him open as Kennen goes down to the count as Kinzon looks to be the next target. Tenebria on the backside on the flank. Will he survive this 4v1? Gets the kill on Red Flank instead, but they can't re-enter this fight as HAU is able to secure a lot of kills, but in the top lane, PAO, trabaho lang.
Just goes for that side lane, goes straight for that, and even if UST lost a couple of their members there, they trade evenly, I think, and they get a top lane turret as well. Maybe they can even get a kill onto Corgi and Kinzon here. Yeah, that was super risky earlier from Tenebria.
Yeah, I mean...
And Dane too.
Dane was in possession. I have to give him that. It's just that Kinzon was able to what is that? Was it Buster Shot? His ultimate on shot. Yeah, plus the damage from Parzival also onto Tenebria too. I think that the UST squad just kind of underestimated the damage that those two champions have at this point into the game. But still, their macro is on point. That's why Pa was able to, sabi nga ni Uwo, may trabaho lang, nag-split push lang siya doon sa taas, takes down the tier 2 tower, and gives them much more space to play around Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Baron looks to be the next big objective to take. 25 minutes in, 17 to 11 in kill score natin, but the gold lead is already growing to the side of UST. That's a 9k or a roughly 9k gold lead for the side of UST. And usually, pag umabot ng 10k, yun yung beginning of the end natin. Pag nakita natin na 10k yung gold lead, kadalasan, the next team fight, it ends the game. And the Baron is started. This might be dangerous for UST. But how? If they give this away, they might as well giving out the game.
Teleported is up for red flank here, and UST is taking this down quite fast, but not fast enough that they can just clear this without any problem. HAU doing a very good job of zoning them out. Event Horizons.
Oh no, in the backside, onslaught of shadows to a Vanguard's edge. Pow going in with a vengeance, and looks like he won't be going down as the stopwatch is there to buy some time, make that a double kill on Parzival, but the great ultimate coming in from Kinzon will try to secure this death. No, Kinzon is the only one alive. There are 4 people for the side of UST. Kinzon, will he be able to escape? The stun is there coming in from Dane, as revenge is sweet, but the ace even sweeter. Looks like they're gonna get the Baron or the game.
Yeah, I don't think the death timers are enough to finish off the game, but UST Teletigers getting that means clean Baron, which could mean the game in the next 3 minutes. Seems like HAU really tunnel visioned once again on a single member of UST, and that basically let Pao and Michael get up, sneak up behind them.
Man, the flanks for UST. This was what I was talking about. UST is such a good team in pulling off these like off-angle flanks, especially Pao and Michael right there. So, HAU just has to be more aware that these UST members can come from the sides, because their game plan for team fights is front to back. They have to make sure that their backline is safe, and we did see that. We did see Parzival and Kinzon. They were able to dish out so much damage. It's I think it was just Kinzon rather, but we saw that they can fight for themselves, but they have to pull off their win condition in terms of team fights.
Yeah, Buster shot I think is super important for Kinzon to keep himself alive.
We did see that great Buster shot coming in from Kinzon, but UST at that point already had all of their gap closers available once again, and that actually didn't help Kinzon that much in surviving that fight, and the cannon stun as well. And Dane, in that regard, really wanted that kill against Kinzon.
Mm-hmm. And this is just translating into a 12k goal lead for UST. The decisiveness, they're just gonna start marching in onto this second tier turret on the bot lane. Looks like UST, they're starting to nail the coffin here for HAU in this game too.
Oh, and when Dane has flash up, I'm gonna pray for HAU right here, because he has a Rabadon's death cap, and we have yet to see a cannon flank successfully happen. It's been Hecarim, it's been Pao, but cannon not yet.
Yeah, HAU might be in danger over here. The Hecarim, no, the flashbangers ulti through Blade Surge resets, but it actually procs a lot of damage coming in from True Shot Barrage. He goes golden underneath. Kaidan will survive that fight, but what a flank coming in from Pao. Gives them that bottom lane inhibitor, but no kills just yet, as Parzival is trying to defend their base.
Oh man, this is the Nexus under siege. Look at that damage coming in from this Triforce and this Muramana. This is the Nexus exposed. UST at around half HP. Can HAU pull the trigger onto UST though? They have to be extremely careful. Corgi looking for something glacial.
Oh, that's a flash coming in from Corgi. No stun coming in from Parzival over here just now as he gets pulled in. Dane gets killed once again. This is looking to be the great turn. The reset is there for Kinzon. One more auto attack, a shutdown for the Israel. This is looking big. The flash is from Kinzon. He's not getting another kill. No. The resets are there, but looks like makakapag-recall dito si Pao at si Michael. That was almost a clean ace for Kinzon if they played that better.
Ah, man, that was super tough here. Kinzon, though, goes to show that if he can start racking up these assists and reset that rocket jump, can go for a really hot streak. But UST just has too much tankiness and too much stats from these triple Mountain Drake stacks that it's just not working out, even if UST overstays their welcome here.
And it's only the top tier 3 tower left standing for HAU. Not even a Nexus turret, I believe, is up. So this is gonna be a DO Vanguard's Edge. Ooh.
Oh no, this looks to be a dead plank. No, make that the Parzival comeback as Cresho goes down. The slicing Maelstrom lands on 4, and this looks to be big for Dane. But Pau is already unstoppable. He's picked some 1. This is the Irelia scaling, but a 2v3. Will they get the kills? A double kill for Dane. Make that triple kill. Might be the Quadra as Pau emanates his first game performance. He's looking for the pentakill. Pau, no mercy on HAU. He will get the kill? No, he's just gonna chill inside the base. No, Kinzon, he challenges it. He's gonna give out the penta. The crits are there, but Michael steals it away. What a chance.
They're just standing
straight up. Okay, Michael knows what he did. Michael knows what he did. UST Teletigers looking strong. 13k goal lead takes away game 2, putting HAU, the Holy Angel University Valiant Esports Club, with their backs to the wall. What do they have to offer for game 3? We're gonna have to see. But whew.
Oh man, that game. Oh my gosh, like, wait, I can't move on from what happened.
Okay, nag-skill lang yung Irelia ni Pau, tapos biglang Michael comes in, I'm gonna help.
Nag-smite siya kay Kinzon.
So that was was that a 2v4 with Dane and Pau? With
something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was crazy. I told you, like, the Rabadons, the Morello.
No deaths on
Pau's
Pau.
sheer damage. No deaths on Pau. And you know how we were talking about Parzival all the time being a second contender for MVP? If you look at the stats from groups to playoffs, Pau's stats actually increased significantly as well, just as Parzival has. So, parang unsung hero siya ng UST, hindi siya masyado napapansin, pero grabe yung contributions niya.
Yeah, I have to agree with you over there. Pau, still one of the veterans in the side of UST. I mean, already won a couple of championships and appearances in the international stage as well. Has the experience to have those stats as well, but you know, it's hard to have the spotlight when your teammates with Cresho, Dane, and it's really hard. Those are people who go hard for personal achievements as well. And man, that was such a game from Pau. And it's already been 2 games. If they win the finals with Pau performing like this, might as well give the finals MVP to Pau. But man, Pau is looking to prove like Parzival. Ito yun eh. Ito na yung anime setup natin, Hyron. Alam mo, may break tayo pagtapos ito. Mag-ready ka na ng mga references mo. Because this is how we're gonna paint the picture. The best rookie mid laner versus arguably the best playoff performer mid laner from Teletigers clashes for the 3rd and might be the final time if Parzival doesn't set up. Parzival right now is under a lot of pressure. His senior Kinzon is retiring, win or lose, after this series. And it's all in his hands right now. So it's gonna be this. Parzival versus Pau next game. Let's see. It's gonna be a good matchup in the mid lane. But first, Chiron, any last thoughts about game 2? First, you first.
Alright, so game 2, HAU definitely showed that they can put forth a fight. They show that in the form of those pick-offs, right? And they they got the first 2 Drakes. They just have to follow through. They have to be able to find a way to stop UST from getting all of these successful ganks, from getting all of these kills, the unnecessary kills, and continue to make plays on their own.
All right, how about you, Hiram?
Yeah, and you can see like at a certain point they have that fight in them. In the first game, UST got their lead way earlier, and by the second game, Valley Esports was able to put up a fight until like 20 minutes before UST opened up the goal lead into 6k, 8k, ballooning that to 10 and 12k. I think they just need to polish up, like I said, the early laning, make sure that the ganks don't happen. The intel and communication is going to be really, really important here for Valiant Esports. And like I said, it's really tough to lock down Teletigers. So I think they just have to play more optimally.
All right, I do have to agree with you over there for how they need to make their final adjustments. They need to make sure that they win next game if they want a shot to the championship. But for now, Teletigers, They just have to continue at it. They need to make sure that they sweep this out before HAU finds out how to beat UST. But for now, this has been Predator Alliance League 2020 Summer. My name is Uomi. Together with me is Furzerk and Hyron. Quick break lang to dahil babalik din agad tayo sa action. But for now, pahinga muna tayo, get some water, see our break, and we will be right